Hello everybody. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How's it going? How is it going, chat? Welcome on in. Hello, 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 Mellow Schmellow, Dream Studio, Juho, Sprite, Majd, name that I can't pronounce. I'm going to call you P, Trella, Efrando, Pudnik. What's going on, everybody? What up, Featherwalk? How you doing as well? So, I'm trying out the dual thing. Trying out the old dual chat. Dom, what's going on? How you doing? Hopefully it works. I don't think I'm actually allowed to do this on Twitch, so let's get off this. Let's get off this and let's just jump straight into Feedback Friday. So those of you that don't know what Feedback Friday is, let me just tell you. Shining like a mirror, of course, of course. Let me just tell you what is going on, what's happening while I try and figure some stuff out. Creating a prototype. Let's go. What's going on, you old monk? What's going on, Han June? How you doing? You creating a prototype for your first game? Nice. Oh, it's going well. Bing. Okay, so how Feedback Friday works, basically, you post your artwork. For those of you that are wondering, the stream is on both. It's on YouTube and it's on Twitch. So pick whichever one you prefer. Though it might make the chat a little bit dead in one place and not the other place. Maybe I should just do it on one place. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how today goes. If the dual thing goes well, I'll continue to do the dual thing. If the dual thing doesn't go well, then I won't do the dual thing anymore. What up, Franda? How are you doing today? What's going on? Because I imagine it probably isn't that good because it's splitting the audience in two, basically. It's splitting the audience in two. I don't know if that's the best way to do it. The Twitch page was saying next stream on Monday just before this. Was it actually? If you refresh it now, does it work? I'd be surprised if you were never a teacher. No, I'm not a teacher. I've never been a teacher. I mean, I've taught things on YouTube, but I've never been an employed teacher. YouTube gang. What a bad tunes. Both chats against each other. Yeah, fight to the death. That could work. But basically, how this works, you're just seeing on YouTube now, no worries. How this works is you post your work, you add the Feedback Friday tag, we go in, we give some feedback. You're a YouTuber, yeah. You're a YouTuber. There are sometimes I teach. There seems to be a way to combine chats in OBS. Is there? Because I don't know how to do it. You know how I know the importance of value. Oh my goodness, Grumble of Pugs with the raid. 28 viewers. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much. Hype in that chat, not in the other chat. You can put hype in that chat if you want. How's it going? Yeah, research required. I was setting it up probably like 10 minutes, but how was your stream, Grumble of Pugs? Thanks so much for the raid. Appreciate it. We are today, Nimble Beasts, thanks for the follow. Hype in the chat. Oh my god, there's so much going on. Today I'm testing out dual streaming. We're streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Pick whichever you prefer. I'm not going to try and push anyone to any platform. Just pick whatever. And we're doing Feedback Friday. So if you don't know what Feedback Friday is, basically you can create a post in our Discord community with your artwork, your games, whatever, and we'll go through and give it feedback. The community can give feedback. I can give feedback. We've got quite a queue. If you post your work today, most likely it's not gonna if you post your work today, most likely we're not gonna get to it because there's a big list of things to get through. In fact, I can't remember. Octopie is well with the raid. What the heck? Octopie. Raids upon raids. By the way, if you folks who are raiding want to share anything, let us know. Let's give another shout out here. Did we do a shout out? I can't remember if we did a shout out. Grumble of Pugs. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And now we got to do one for Octopie. We'll have to do one afterwards. I think you got to wait a certain amount of time, but there's Octopie as well, and we'll do another one. My goodness, so much to do. But how was your stream, Octopie? I literally just started today. It's crazy. We're doing the dual thing. From Morningwood to best YouTube devlogs, what a journey. In fact, Morningwood wasn't my first video. I made videos for years before Morningwood. They're just hidden. You just can't see them. I made them for years and years and years and years. Stream was good. I was working on my silly game. Let's go. Dual tunes. Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep up with both chats, but I'll try my best. Shall we? I'll try my best. I'll try my best. Okay. So, let's just jump into it. Let's find out where we were. Last feedback. Stream was good. I was working on my silly game. Let's go. I hope that's going well. Streaming on YouTube as well? Yes, I am, yeah. I am. Both at the same time. I love Morning Wood, great video. Are you having two chats or they're not merged, Marge? No, they're two chats. I don't know how to merge them. They're merged in OBS, which is weird. What up, Waters? How you doing? Going pretty well. Actually made progress. Let's go. Sometimes I never make progress. I know it's not the first video, but I thought it was fully. Nah. It was actually super long time ago I made that. That was crazy. I'm glad you watched that though. It's obviously cool. I'm assuming the YouTube was your main priority. What do you mean, Waters? For the stream? We got it. It's on both. It's on both, Waters. We got Twitch and YouTube today. How goes the feedback today? We've just started, Virus. Just started. Little Run more? Yeah, Little Run was cool. I'm on both chats. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, let's do this. Boom, 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 boom. So I think this is the first one we've got. Let me just check and make sure. We're just going to jump straight into it, folks. I'm going to try and balance the chats because it's kind of hard to read both. I'm going to try and balance that while I go through this. Why is this freaking out, man? Why is this jumping to the top every time? It's because it's got a new post. Okay. I understand. I understand. I understand. I'm trying my best. What the heck? It keeps jumping up. Stop jumping up. Let's see if we can fix this. Okay, something is broken. Something is broken here. We're in feedback. We're so far. The Discord is like so broken. When I watched that video, I thought this channel will be fully animation channel. Nah, animation takes far too long and the payoff is far too short. Unfortunately. Did we give feedback? We already gave feedback to that. I don't know why we're looking at that again. We gave feedback to that. We've given feedback to this. What have we not given feedback to? We gave feedback to... We didn't give feedback to the wolf silhouette. We definitely did that. We haven't looked at the trees. We looked at that. Conscious price I made for gluttony. Maybe we're here. I think we're here. Yes, because that's what we ended on last time. That's what we... You did the cards. Top-down card? Did I do the top-down cards? Did I do these? I don't think I've done them. I don't think I've done these. I have no idea. And when I click off it, it puts me all the way down at the bottom. Discord is so broken, man. Discord is so broken. Okay, so we've done that. I think we're here. I think we're here. How many we got after that? Quite a lot. We got quite a lot to get through. Let's see how we can do here. Let's see how we can do. Medusa, yeah, we ended up with Medusa Lizard Lady because I was going to make a video about that one. It's fine, just start with mine. I was thinking about selling one-to-ones, by the way, because a couple of people have said they want more regular feedback and stuff, and I used to have on Patreon, I used to have a thing where you could get feedback every Friday, basically. But I think I might open up, and someone was saying they wanted something like that as well, so I might open up like limited one-to-one slots where basically you give a goal. You know, you have a goal that you want to achieve with art. Maybe not game dev, because I'm not super experienced with game dev, like programming stuff, but mostly art progress. I could give some game dev feedback, but it would mostly be on, I don't know, whether it's fun or not. For me, it's a very personal thing. Probably not the worst, but I'd probably just do it. You give a goal, and then I will suggest things to achieve that goal. And I'll give you challenges, give you feedback, personalized feedback. And we do that for a series of things. Music feedback, probably not. Probably not music feedback, no. I feel like music feedback is very subjective, you know, whereas I can be, I know art is subjective as well, but I know more about art than I know about music, you know. I feel like if Lumber had a game, we'd be able to charge through enemies. Maybe one day. Remember I did some tinny robots? I'm doing a card game with them. Can I ask your opinion? You can post in the Feedback Friday and we'll check it out. And you'll be added to the queue. I'm not going to just jump into individuals stuff though. Holy crap, what's going on? How you doing? Thank you, Dom. We did end on Medusa Lizard Lady, yes. So let's just jump in, shall we? Let's just jump in. So the first one this week is this, which I think is actually amazing. So let me just boom over there. It is a wolf silhouette. So, by the way, just for a little bit of background on this feedback, I'm obviously going to try and tailor what I say to your goal as much as possible if you've provided a goal that you're trying to achieve. But if you haven't provided a goal that you're trying to achieve, then I won't be able to do that, and it will be more opinion-based, or I'll try and ask you what your goal is. If there's nothing that I feel like I can say, I'm just not going to say something and we'll move on. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that, George. Okay. I don't feel like you'd be able to dash through enemies. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, Pudnik, last time, I've never played those games, so I don't know anything about them. If I was going to make a Lumber game, it would probably actually be nothing like that. Just because they're not my inspiration. I do have some ideas about a Lumber game, but that's going to have to wait a long time. It's going to have to wait a long time. Still have to get through Faceplant. After Faceplant, I've got some ideas about apps, courses, stuff like that I want to get through. Lumber's going to wait a little bit. But anyway, they said, I don't like the front of the neck on the white wolf. Wolf and a wolf it is. For some reason I've messed with it a bit, but I haven't figured out what is bothering me about it, so I'm posting here. Otherwise, happy with how it turned out. Look at this. Wolves in wolves. Wolfception. Okay, very cool. Don't like the front of the neck on the white wolf. Which one's the white wolf? Okay, I think it's proportions. I think immediately what stands out to this for me is the proportion of the wolf's neck. What am I going to say? What's the one thing I'm going to say? I say this every single week. I should get like a t-shirt printed or something for this. If in doubt, somebody finish the sentence. Reference, Featherwalk, exactly. If in doubt, get the reference. Reference is savior, honestly. It is so good. It will save you in all aspects. Okay, so let me just get this picture of a wolf. I don't know if it's a real wolf. It doesn't look like a real wolf. No, it's not. Let's find a real wolf. Reference, exactly, everyone. Reference. Mouth is cut short. Yeah, the mouth is quite big, I would say, compared to what an actual wolf's mouth looks like as well. Let's have a look. But let me just show you some references, eh? Let me show you some references, shall we? So check this out. Check out this wolf. This is obviously from a different angle, but we can just imagine. We can use our imagination. But notice how much real estate that triangle takes up. If this is the bean shape, if this is a bean and this is a triangle, look at how much that triangle is compared to the bean. Whereas this triangle, we got a much, much longer bean. Now I know proportionally this is probably out here if it was side on. But the bean is still too big. You know? The black wolf looks like bear mouth. What this? I think we're getting there. We'll talk about the white wolf for now. We'll talk about the white wolf, then we'll talk about the rest. So I think actually it's just the proportions. I think if we were to shrink, obviously this is pixel art, so this is going to absolutely destroy everything. But if we just shrink the head down, move it up a little, break the tree, I think we're already, and I think the shape of it as well needs a bit of fixing. The mouth is a bit too big. Mouth's a bit too big. Proportions, get that from reference. I think that's already looking a little bit better. It's obviously not perfect. But do you notice how the change from there to there, just from reducing the size of the snout and changing the proportion of the wolf a little bit fixes that, I think. Now, white wolf fixed. Next. This wolf. Let's have a look again. I don't know what a wolf looks like, right? I don't know what so I couldn't tell you whether the wolf's mouth is right or wrong. But I'm taking a look at this picture now. Let's compare it. I think the one thing that we see with the wolf howling is that the front teeth are covered and these teeth are the ones which are sort of protruding. This is obviously the bigger side. This is the bigger side of the wolf. So maybe I would get rid of that tooth. Weep. Maybe I'd get rid of that tooth. Uh-oh, I need to, I forgot what I'm doing here. Get rid of that tooth. Bring it down. Push this out. slightly. Obviously, you're doing this in pixel art, so it's very, very difficult. Like, I'm just drawing on top of this 2D, which is a lot easier. You don't want that. But now it looks like a seal. So maybe that's why you drew the top tooth. Context, right? You could probably get away with it. Don't forget the eye. The thing here is which part is the eye, or supposed to be the eye? The moon looks like an eye, doesn't it? The nose is big and the ear isn't there. Well, the ear's like here. This is how I see the ear. Maybe it needs more of a point to it. But I guess the style of this makes it appear like the ear isn't there because the trees come out of the side, don't they? So maybe you just need to push that along a little bit, make that a little bit deeper. So it just protrudes that shape, because you get that shape again where you go. Come on. Oh, it's in the wrong layer. That's why. Get that shape again where you go out like that. You know, that's the shape of the ear. That's gonna show it, and you kind of have that going on. But you can't really see it, or you lose it because of that white outline, basically. But it is overall a very cool piece, very cool concept, very cool idea. I think it's literally just proportions. The proportions are the thing which are kind of letting you down a little bit. And you can fix it. Fortunately, that's a really easy fix. You know, just look at reference. Just look at some reference. Take some reference in. I think the ear needs to come up a little bit here, and the snout needs to be a little bit shorter on both of these wolves, and you'd have something a bit more looking silhouette-wise, looking more like a wolf. But overall, it's very, very cool, and I appreciate you sharing it with us. Boom. Next up. Talked about on stream. There you go. Next up, we're looking at trees. How do I make this tree better in general, focusing on the leaves? This person says. Here we go. Anyone? Any ideas? Feedback lightning round. Now we're just efficient. We're just efficient at this point. Anyone? Any ideas how it'd fix the leaves up here? Hue shifting. I'm just going to type reference yeah, put it on like a timer. Put it on a timer. Values. You don't know what the issue is. I think hue shifting is more of a... Hue shifting is not really a necessity. It's just a... They are hue shifting, and it's not really a necessity, right? Not really a necessity. It's more of a style choice. Saturation, more of a style choice. They are very saturated. It is actually super saturated, isn't it? The whole thing is. But maybe that's consistent at least. If it was saturated against saturated, then the problem isn't really saturation. That just seems to be a style choice here. It doesn't feel out of place. It just is what they're going for. I feel like I'm in class again. I'm going to pick on you next time, Hanjun. Hanjun, what should I do here? Shading, reduce the highlights. Let's have a look at the values. Values are okay. Maybe the value range is too high. How would we know? Well, DOM2D. Values and reference. Let's check out a picture of a tree, shall we? Check out this one. Look at this tree. So you actually do have quite a high value range here. If you take the absolute extremes of light and dark, you have quite a high value range. Now let's take a look at the value range. I'm just going to reduce this a bit. Let's take a look at the value range of this in comparison. I think actually the thing which makes this, the value range is actually a lot lower here. Is it? Yeah, it's a lot lower. The dark is a lot darker. But I think why this looks different is the shapes work for you. I think it's the shaded shape. Like, I think it's the shaded shape. I mean, it's okay. Like, I don't think it's not that bad. It's not that bad. They want to make the leaves better. What does that mean, better, though? You know what I mean? What does that actually mean? What does that mean, better? how to make the leaves better. What you could do, I mean, there's a lot of things you could do. Yeah, I think references. To me, it's only the size of the roots. The spreading is very tall. Yes. Well, there's a lot of things you could do. I think reference, you know, because if I was going to do something, if I was going to draw a tree, yeah, I probably wouldn't, like, there's nothing wrong with blocking it out like this, the way that you've done it. I would probably give more indications as to leaves, but you don't even need to really do that either. Like, usually you see like little bits of leaves hanging out, you know? That might help a little bit. You kind of got that over here, but maybe go a little bit further with that. Maybe go a touch bit further with that. Maybe make the values a little bit darker so the range is closer to reference. If that's what you want to go with, anyway. Doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be, but I actually think moving that value down already looks better. It depends. This is the thing, right? That's exactly what Water said is exactly the thing. There are so many ways people do leaves. There are an infinite amount of ways to do leaves, trees, bark, the shape, the texture. You're asking for very general feedback on how to do leaves. I don't think I can give you very general feedback on how to do leaves. I think what you need to do is you need to look at some reference, get inspired, and push yourself in a direction that you like. Because otherwise, when you ask for super general feedback, you're just going to get some super general responses, or you're going to get very specific responses based on what somebody likes. Like, I'm going to go, well, I don't like the shape of this. I'm going to make the shape of it. I'm going to change the shape of it. I think you need to just decide where you want to go with it yourself based on inspiration and reference. I think the tree looks like a tree, and that a style needs to be decided before you approach it. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Stardew Valley and Harvest Moon snares trees are good examples. Yeah, that's what you like, Marged, you know? That's what I'm saying. Like, everyone here who's going to give general feedback to it is just going to pick something they like in a tree, and they're going to push that on you. You need to decide what it is. Context is important, definitely, Dom. Yeah, what is the goal? You know, what is there a story to the tree? Is it just a tree? What kind of tree is it? What season is it? Does someone live in the tree? You know, just figure it out. Like, you need to ask yourself questions. This was part of the concept art tutorial that I make. And ask yourself a bunch of questions about this tree, and you will get closer and closer to the style that you want, to the mood that you want, to the context that you want. Because otherwise, everyone's just going to bombard you with different tree stuff. So I'm going to say, spoke about this on stream. Spoke about this on stream. And we're going to move on to the next one. So this person has said, a bunch of sprites I made for my OC called Gluttony. Looks generally good. Yeah, overall, no problems. You know, overall, no problems. Looks like a tree. So you've done well. You've done well. Words are hard. You've done well in making it look like a tree. Okay, this was one of my first attempts at doing pixel animation. I made these a while ago, and now that I've graduated and finally have a bit more free time, I was hoping to come back to this and maybe recreate these animations from the ground up. Anything particular I should work on improving? So he made these a while ago and graduated, finally have a bit more free time. So his first attempts, a bunch of sprites. Okay, so what are they trying to make here? Swipe, very clear. Swipes are clear. Cake is cool. I think as a character animation, that's cool. Imagine that coming towards you, you'd be freaking out. I guess you need how to ask feedback as well. Yeah, we have a little section on how to ask for feedback. We have a little section on what up, Visca? How you doing? We have a little section on how to ask for feedback in the Discord, and basically being as specific as possible is going to help you get. It's going to help you get more specific. You know, it's going to help you towards your goal. Whereas if you ask generally, you're just going to get general opinions. Sometimes general opinion is good, and that's what you're going for. Sometimes it's not. There's barely any delay on chat. I got 2 chats up at the minute. I don't know how the internet is handling it. Actually, we're on YouTube and Twitch right now. It's mad. I've got 2 chats up. Anyway, Let's check these sprites out, these animations. There's nothing that I'm looking at here that looks off, you know? They look very clear, the poses are nice. The one thing which is really cool about these animations is the silhouettes are really nice. That's how you know a pose is good, if you can tell just from a silhouette. One thing I would say is, I don't know if this is just the character, because the character is quite long anyway. Maybe some smears might help. Yeah, style choice. It's kind of like, yeah, it's just style choice. Like, they're very like retro, these, aren't they? They're very, very retro, in the sense that they're limited, you know, limited animations. Smears definitely would make it more, what's the word, like fluid from those, especially when you have smaller amounts of animation. Like, let me just explain for those of you who don't know. So if you're moving from point A to point B, you could obviously just do 2 frames, frame 1 and frame 2. And you could put a 3rd frame in, okay? So let's say the whole movement is A, B, and this is C. But if you change frame B to be a smear, this animation will look a lot smoother. Let me actually just show you. I think it already looks really smooth. Yeah, I think it looks like retro pixel art is what it looks like. It looks like a retro pixel art style, and it looks clear, and that's cool. Clarity, I think, is one of the most important things for animation. A few of mid-frames could be good. Depends on the style you're going for. I think it really depends. Do you want it to be... What do you want it to look like? What's your goal? You know, which is why, again, we come back to this whole, like, what is your actual goal with this? What is it that you're trying to achieve? What style are you trying to achieve? Do you want it to look fluid and fast like a Pixar or Aardman animation? Or do you just want it to look... do you just want it to look like a retro game? And these are things that we need to know, you know? So if I do this... Where's my thing? These are all things people got to be more specific, man. Like if we just take this idea here, we do frame 1 and I just draw let's do a bigger ball here. Okay, let's take this ball and take this, take this, and I'm going to put it, wow, I haven't used AceBrite in a while, you can tell because all my keybinds are off. And I'm going to put it there. And then I'm going to take this. I'm going to put it there. Okay. If we play this animation, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. That's completely fine. It works. If you do this, though, let me just turn onion skin on. If you do this, let me just make it easy on my life. Do something like this. I don't know if this is going to work first time. I usually have to preview it. We do something like this. This is kind of ugly, but you get the point with the smear anyway. Let's get rid of these. Probably not as low. Now you have a completely different style, but it's just changing 1 frame. How do you make AceBrite dark theme? You can either get AceBrite version 1.3, which comes with dark theme, or you can just download a theme. Basically, this is like built in on AceBrite 1.3. Looks a lot smoother. Cool tactic. Yeah, it's just 1 change. Like squash and stretch, right? It's the 12 principles of animation. For those of you who want to see more cool animation tricks or things that you can do to make your animation appear more like Disney, more organic. There are 12 principles of animation, basically. And I have a video which basically takes you from a ball and applies all of the 12 principles of animation. Let me just find the file, actually, because that's going to be very helpful for those of you who have never seen that. I would recommend watching that video, though. Where is it? YouTube. Maybe it's just like Rabbit or something. 12 principles? No. Is it that? It is. Okay, so here it is. Where's the background? So this is just... Wow, okay. Playback speed. This is just the ball bouncing. There's nothing in... But ignore the backgrounds. Oh, here we go. This is just a ball bouncing, right? It's just a ball. And then you add in, slow out. So that is, you'll see it in the video basically, but go watch the video. Then you've got squash and stretch being added, where the ball now has a life. It's in organic form. And then you have anticipation. So the ball like squishes down a little bit and also has some follow through. You can see it like wiggling on one side and preparing to jump. Then you have exaggeration. So we take exactly what we have and we just exaggerate the form. Yeah. What are those things at the top with animation names? That looks really handy. This is just tags. You can like highlight an area, right click, add a tag, new tag basically. And then there's timing. So me adjusting the timing, the anticipation, as you can see, is a little faster now. A little slower, like that. The tags are very useful for things like when you're making sprites and you're changing things. And then the final one is adding a bit of appeal. Or not the final one, but one of them is adding a bit of appeal, which is when I turned it into a rabbit, basically. Same animation with a rabbit, and I did secondary animations with the ears and the tail, which for some reason the tail isn't on. Hold on. There we go. With the ears and the tail. Someone actually stole this character and put it in a video game and claimed that they made it, which was mad. And then you have secondary animation, where they look around before they jump, and then they jump up. So all of this, yeah, all of this is literally just applying the 12 principles of animation. There's nothing special there. There's nothing really complicated. It's just apply each one after the other, and you will achieve something similar. Obviously, the hardest principle of animation is solid drawing, which is if you don't draw and you don't keep the volume consistent, which is something that we see quite a lot with beginner animation, is changing the consistency of the volume of the character. Like when they squash it, they don't stretch it. When they stretch it, they don't squash it. And that's the thing that looks off the most, you know? It is petty, really, to steal a character from a tutorial. You see it all the time, actually. It's very common with tutorial stuff. Even Lumber. Lumber has been stolen. I went through a big thing with someone literally just ripping the design of Lumber and making a bunch of games with that character, making a bunch of characters out of Lumber and putting them on app stores and stuff. I eventually got them taken down, but it's just annoying. People think that because you make a video with a certain character and they recreate the character from the tutorial, that they then own it. But that's not how it works. Is that the Pico 8 palette? It is, yeah. The reason I chose the Pico 8 palette is because it's very simple. Very simple. It's only 8 colors. I think it's 8 colors, right? Yeah, I think it extends to more. But anyway, these are cool. I think they're cool animations. I don't think it really depends on what you're trying to do. So I'll say I've spoken about this on stream. And I'd say, finally, it depends on what you're trying to do. I think they're really cool. You don't really have any issues with, volume changes, which we usually see. And the silhouettes are very good. The poses are very cool. And it's up to you and your style whether you want to add more principles or not. Like, do you want to have squash and stretch? Do you want to have some smear frames in there? You know, do you want to have more anticipation? That's completely up to you. If not, this works completely fine as well. Next up, feedback, please. Love the Pico 8 palette. Yeah, me too. I find that drawing arcs for the different parts of my characters. Yes, arcs are very helpful. I forgot to show that actually in this A-Sprite thing, but you just reminded me. We have the arcs in this as well. I'd recommend just watching the video. Basically, just watch the video that I made if you're unsure. Where is it? Path there. So I draw the arcs, the path that the ball's going to travel, and yeah, arcs are very important. Breaking character. If you're doing characters, break them down into their limbs. So don't just try and animate the whole character at once, because that might be a bit more. You can't do that if you're more experienced, but if you're overwhelmed by a character, just do one thing at a time. Do the body, then do the legs, then do the head, then do the arms. You know. Arcs. I started using them for posing characters. Yeah, it's really good. Arcs in general, because it's like line of action, right? Line of action when you're drawing poses. Next up, let's have a look. This is by Soulfan, who says, feedback please. Just feedback please. Okay. I try to show what I mean. Your blade is not very sharp. Maybe try with an outline. Yeah, the blade doesn't look very blade. I mean, it does look blade-like, but maybe it could use the shine. I don't know. I don't know what your goal is. Again, this is one of those things, folks. Be more specific. Please, I'm going to write that in here. Please be more specific with your goals. Thanks. It could just be not having a background. Very true, Paraditto, because this value is very close to this value and it doesn't really stand out. But against the dark value, this light would look much sharper, wouldn't it? So if it needs a highlight, I don't know. They've already used the white though, so maybe they could use that white from the palette to add like a gleam. Renard did there. Up to you. Don't know. Be more specific. Next. Encoding overload. Oh no. Something was breaking there. Hope we didn't. Did we have a lag spike? My bad. You're bad. Okay, I'm stuck at this art for top-down card art. Oh no, I lagged. No, I think it was on my end. I think it was on my end. Be cool for AC Unity. Tiny spike. Yeah, hopefully we're good. So, I'm stuck at this art for top-down card art. My most recent update was the corner right. I've tried to do the same 3D effect into the card, but now that... Hold on. Stuck at this card art for top-down card art. Okay. My most recent update was the corner right. I've tried to do some 3D effect into the card, but now that has been hours after the art, I guess the effect isn't fitting for a game similar to Clash Royale. Any feedback? Personally, I do not like so much the simple paper card. I'd like some variation. The colors in Aseprite default for the moment, and I plan to resize the orb to put some values to cause, like the Clash Royale, to focus at the illustration. Okay, right, a lot of stuff to process here. Yeah, I do prefer the 3D style. Looks cool, I will say. What's up, Digital Astrac? Thanks so much for the follow. Let's have a look. Boom, 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 boom. Let's have a look here. By the way, folks, for those of you who are wondering or just joining, I was mentioning earlier that I might be doing or opening up some one-to-one feedback slots. Basically, we can jump on a call at some point, or if you don't prefer calls, if you prefer text, we can jump on a call, or we can jump on a call if you don't like calls. We can just do text feedback. You can share your goal with me. Oh my goodness. YouTube is breaking. Hold on. Hold on. Are we broken? We're broken right now. Stream health is poor. Uh-oh. Let me see if I can fix. Digital Astrac, what's going on? This is my first dual stream. It is my first dual stream, yeah, so I think there's some problems. There's some problems. Hopefully I can solve them. Wonder if I can just change my output to like 4,000. Just reduce my output a little bit here. It might reduce the quality of the stream slightly. Are we still live? I'm on YouTube, it's fine for me. Okay. Need to change this username. What is it? What's your usual username? Twitch is healthy. Okay. You're on YouTube, it's fine for you. Everything seems fine. Trying to work on a game, but I'm stuck and can't think on anything. Do you have any advice? Yes. Do other things. Play other games. Get some inspiration from life, from what you like, from movies. Don't just play games. Watch something. And don't stress about making an amazing game, you know. If you really, if it's a first game for you, just play and make something very simple like Pong. Like Astrac, someone already have. Well, you gotta get it off them, Digital Astrac. Give them the digital one. You see fine on YouTube? Okay. Probably just YouTube freaking out. Yeah, I'd recommend getting inspired. Ideas are the easy part for me. And the reason ideas are the easy part is because there's a balance, right, between consumption and creation. If you are constantly creating, you are not consuming. Okay? So I think the balance, there's two things, okay? If you're constantly creating something, you might run into the problem where you run out of ideas, you burn out, you have lots of different problems, yeah? burnout, no ideas, you know, horrible things like that. What's going on, Void Android? How you doing? Whereas if you're constantly consuming, you might have the opposite side of this, where you have too many ideas, right? Too many ideas, but you never work on them. You never work, nothing ever gets finished, you're unhappy. And yes, lack of motivation, you could lack discipline if you're constantly not working on something. So there's a balance between creation and consumption. And I personally find that for me, and this will probably be different depending on you, this is going to be different depending on who you are, your personality, how easy ideas come to you, how easy it is to work, your discipline, all that stuff. But for me, I personally find that I have like probably like an 80 and like a 90-10, I'll say. I have like a 90-10 split where 90% should be creation and 10% is consumption. Because usually I work so much until I'm like, wow, I hate working on this now. I hate this project. And then I'll go and play a game, or I'll watch a movie, hang out, you know, with someone or whatever. And then I'll be like, oh, I've got an idea. That's amazing. Then I'll go fully back into creation mode until I'm like on the verge of burnout again. And then I'll be like, all right, let's go consume some more. And I found that when I was on social media a lot, when I was consuming a lot, when that consumption was higher, I actually felt worse about my creation, which is why I needed to reduce that a bit. And that can happen when, let's say, you're looking at social media and you see someone's output, like someone's artwork, and you're like, wow, that's amazing. I'll never make anything like that. When you have the comparison problem, when comparison is the thief of joy, right? So if you compare yourself too much to other artists, to people who are making games, and you're like, wow, they're producing things all the time, or people are producing things all the time. What you need to realize with that is you're looking at a feed, right, of posts from different people. And you're looking at, most likely the algorithm is showing you very highly received posts. So if you're constantly consuming things, so this is what I found, if you're constantly consuming things and it's like, wow, this is amazing, 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 sometimes you can't help but compare yourself to that, your output, and you feel like you should be able to nail something like that and quickly because you're seeing it. You refresh the page and there's another one. You refresh the page and there's another one. So sometimes you got to balance that creation and the consumption. And for me, that balance is about 90-10, where 90% creation, 10% consumption. If you have the opposite problem where you don't have it, then consume more, consume more. I have joined to the Discord. How can I post my art? Post in the feedback channel. By the way, there's going to be an ad running shortly in about 40 seconds. I just got a warning on my screen, so good luck. I'll not talk about anything. While the ads are running, I'll tell you how to post on the feedback. I did mention that before. Do you do game reviews? Yes. So basically, to post on the Discord, what you do is you go to the feedback section. Oh, my head's in the way. You go to the feedback section here. Click on feedback. Go, make sure you're at the top, because sometimes when you click out, it's not on the fucking top. Discord, come on. And then you click new post. Then you add the post. You are very specific about what you're trying to achieve, or you can be more general if you like, but you're not going to give it. And then you click on Feedback Friday, and then you click post. If you haven't done Feedback Friday on your post, right click your thing, edit tags, add in Feedback Friday. Very simple. If you struggle, let us know. You'll be fine. Thanks for the tips, all great as always. I'll go consume a burger. Yes, burgers are inspiring. I had ramen today. That was inspiring too. I never had ramen before. It's good. Like proper ramen. I had like pot noodle type stuff, but you know what I mean. Not your first game, just art block. Yeah. Do you do game reviews on stream? Yes. Post it in feedback. So you find on YouTube. Okay, cool. Cool. So true. Social media never shows you your favorite artist. Yeah. The mess ups. Yeah, definitely not. Would you mind and try a game I made a few years back? Of course. But add it to the queue. Add it to the queue. I'm not gonna I don't cherry pick them. I don't cherry pick things, and it's not like a pay to cherry pick. I won't do that either, because that's actually illegal. that's considered a like a lottery or gambling, actually. Did you know that? I didn't know that, but I knew that. So I wouldn't do that. But just add it and we'll get to it eventually. It might not be this week, it might be next week. But because we're getting so much, I am going to be opening up some private one-to-one slots at some point. So if you're interested in that, put a 1 in the chat and maybe we'll open that up and figure out how to do that. Okay. Next. Where are we? Where were we? Oh yeah, the cards. So you're stuck on this top-down card game. What is their goal? Did they mention? Try to do the 3D effect, textures. So yeah, I think Juho, you said you assume it's made out of wood. If it is made out of wood, then yeah, some texture would be good. If it's made out of wood, then some texture would be good. But stupid rhymes. Anyway, yeah, what texture are the cards? This is again coming right back to the concept art video that I made. Whenever you are designing anything, there are 2 things that you should do. First one, oh, there's probably more, I can't remember, but these are the 2 that came to my mind just then. The first one, obviously, is you need a goal, yeah? You need some sort of goal. You need some sort of idea, yeah? You need something to build upon. And how do you learn that, right? And so, because some of you are like, how do I get an idea? Ask questions. Literally ask yourself questions about the thing. Ask questions. What does it look like? Where is it from? What material is it? What textures do that material have? Is it worn? Is it new? And all of a sudden you'll have so much knowledge about the thing that you're trying to create that you don't know. It's easy. It's easy at that point. Then what do you do once you have all that knowledge? You gather reference. You gather as much reference as you can based on the things that you've done, which are relevant to the project, and design becomes easy then. You don't even have to think about it. You know, you don't even have to think about it. I think because the colors, I can only see a drawer. A drawer. Yeah, I see what you mean. Like something that clothes go in. Clothes drawer. Like that. With the thing on the front. Oh, I drew that badly. But you get what I mean. Cubes are hard. Boxes are hard. Not really. So yeah, I would say that. I'd recommend looking at... This is a card game, right? I have this book, The Art of Hearthstone. And that's a really, really good book for anyone who likes card games. If you like concept art, if you like stylized art, the Art of Hearthstone book is really, really good. They go through the process. The book shows you the process of designing something as simple as their card, right? Goes through multiple iterations. So what I like here is that you've started with doing that. You've tried out shapes. You haven't spent too long, it seems, trying to go through shapes, trying to find things that work. You've got like organic shapes, you've got straight shapes, you've got different borders. That's really cool because I see that in the Hearthstone. I see that that's just really good design practice anyway, because you might not know what you like. No? So I think, what was your goal here? Guess the effect isn't fitting for a No, I think the 3D looks fine. I think the 3D looks fine. I think it really just depends. You keep mentioning Clash Royale. I don't know what Clash Royale cards look like. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. UI game database. I've spoke about this before when we spoke about UI. So we're just going to go back to it. So this thing is called Game UI Database, and we can just search for a game like Clash Royale. There it is, and this will show us the UI of the game. And this is really good if you want to do research on UI, UX, all that rubbish, right? So let's take a look at the cards. These cards are a bit more modern, I think. Not really in the same style as what you're going for, or not. I don't know. Are you going for the modern kind of gleamy 2D? I don't know, because you didn't say. You weren't specific enough. So yeah, if you're looking for any sort of reference for your UI, your UX, come to Game UI Database. Type in a game that you might be inspiring to you, like you said, Clash Royale. Have a look at this and see if it matches the style that you're going for. We're looking at your cards here, like this. We can go here, check out the cards in this game, just like that. And you can say, hey, look, there we go. If you're Pacific enough, you won't be Atlantic. Come on, KK Hugs, why you got to do me like that? Reference is like the Bible. It is. Reference is key, you know, because for the longest time, people won't use reference, and I didn't for the longest time. And you think like you have to learn. How the hell do you learn how to draw a horse or something? How do you learn how to draw anything without reference? It's impossible. It's not impossible, but it's not nice. So yeah, I'd recommend this. Find reference. You need to develop more what you're trying to achieve. So I'm going to write that. I think you need to develop more what you're... I'm just going to say spoken on stream. I'm going to say spoken on stream, and that would be my advice. You need to develop more what you're trying to achieve, and then you need to gather reference for that. Watch the past 10 minutes or so. You know how a horse looks like? Then you can draw it. Yeah, this is what a horse looks like without reference. You ready? They have ears. Yeah, they got hair as well. There you go. That's a horse. Without reference, that's what a horse looks like to me. No, wrong. Don't develop the card by itself, put it in context. Very true. That's a very good tip, yeah. Have backgrounds. Have background ideas. I'm actually going to see if I can find Art of Hearthstone like image about the card. This feedback request reminded me of the game Inscription for some reason. It might help as a reference. Ah, Inscription. Yeah, perhaps. All card games. Don't just look at one. Find multiple research references. Find multiple things. Let's have a look. Hearthstone concept art card. Let's have a look. That isn't going to show me, is it? It's not going to show me it. The Art of Hearthstone preview. The really cool thing about the Art of Hearthstone as well is it also talks about the concept art of the animations as well, and how they design animations. Like it's very, very good if you want to have a look into the industry process. If you want to have a look into an industry process of concept art, that's really, really good book to look at. I would recommend it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my next book preview video. This week we have The Art of Hearthstone, or Hearthstone, depending
Hearthstone.
on how you...
But they're just previewing it, this person here.
Horizontal button in the top right corner.
Look at this. Same thing here. They're going through different cards, different board styles, you know what I mean? Like this goes through multiple iterations before they arrive at anything. And notice how they're just sketches, yeah? Hearthstone, yeah, I don't know. Posh people waters. Notice how they keep it loose, keep it sketchy, because they're not finalizing anything. And even this, it hasn't got the final details in. It's literally just sketches of the things in place just to see what that looks like. Which is why you don't have to polish something from the very start. You can do that later on when you're clear on it. But yeah, this is a really cool book. I would recommend it. I really like The Art of Hearthstone. Hearthstone. This person is sketched by Steve. If you want to check them out, thanks for sharing, Steve. Appreciate you. Next up, working on a splash screen for my game company. What the heck? Been practicing my animation, having trouble with faces, still working on lighting and final touches. In general, I've always have issues with eyes. I left the eyes I don't like at the end of the second animation as an example. Any advice on making eyes look better, or just advice in general? Let's have a look. Firstly, this animation is really cool. 3D movement, the boob physics, and then the unveiling at the end. It's very nice. What up, Rock Bottom Games? You had a better horse than more can do. You know, I've seen horses before. Maybe I'm dumb, but I never saw H after T in Hearthstone. I thought it's Hearthstone. That's kind of a cool name. It's a joke on Rock Bottom Games. Ah, okay. That's why you got the booby physics in there. Butt games. This is cold. Yeah, this is really nice. The reason is 2 animations, Pixaki, okay, no problem. Here's an example of where I felt okay with the eyes, but I was based off of frog eyes. I don't feel very comfortable with other eyes. You only like frog eyes. These are very cool animations, by the way. Here's the creepy eyes. Those are definitely creepy eyes. What's up, Papa? How you doing today? So, advice on making the eyes look better. remove the color. Remove the color from them. The reason I think it looks creepy is because it's a bit too real. You've put real eyes on a slime. Do you remember when Squidward, you know Handsome Squidward? I think this is right. Let me have a look. No, it's not Handsome Squidward, but there's, you know, it's like they're too real, you know? They're too real for a character like that. What's that called? Uncanny Valley. It's called Uncanny Valley. What up, NPC? How are you doing today? We're live on both YouTube and Twitch today. But if you just remove these blue things, it will look a lot better. You don't even need the highlight, really. You don't even need the highlight. Just make it... Whoa! You just do something. If you simplify it, there you go. It's less creepy. I think the other thing which makes it look creepy is like kind of the pose of the eye. You know what I mean? Like the shape of the eye. Like it's like that. Annoying orange, exactly. Yeah, exactly like annoying orange. Maybe make them a bit more rounded, yeah? Round shapes are cute. Round shapes are always seen as cute. Cutesy. Obviously, I'm drawing this 2D, but you can fix it for pixel art. But maybe something more like that. Shadow. This indicates a shadow on the top. This line. I think the fact that it has eyeballs feels off. The white part. You could get rid of that entirely. There's lots of different ways to do eyes. You could do this. That's kind of cute. You could do this. That's kind of cute. That's my style. Don't steal that. You could do this. Now it's evil. You could give it just one eye. Now it's Mike Wazowski. You could do this. Give it like super goat eyes. I'll steal that, thanks, no worries. How do I search you on Twitch? Just type in Soultunes. Vsauce has an amazing video on Uncanny Valley. I might have checked that out. Yeah, look, Uncanny Valley. A little bit. Maybe just simplify cartoon, you know? Simplify it. Simple as cute. Tweak TV, thanks for the follow. Yeah, simplify. That's cute. But overall, I think the animation is incredible. I think the style is incredible. I think the colors are incredible. Literally just the eyes. Saber Spark has a cool video about Uncanny Valley. Cool. Those are some things you might want to check out. And I also want to check out. Next up, Feedback Friday. How long have we been going? An hour. Okay. Feedback Friday, some sprites I made for a game called Rain World. A game called Rain World? Isn't Rain World already a thing, or did you make Rain World? I'm not sure. Also some music for the same game. Just sprites. I don't know how to code or animate anything, but Rain World is my... Okay. Rain World is my favorite game, so I decided to make some fan art of the game's style of pixel art. Just a bunch of random creatures and critters, also some music in Rain World's kind of style. Okay, cool. I've played Rain World very briefly. Very brutal game, but very cool. Atmosphere, very cool style. So I'm probably not the best person to give feedback on this, but I will say that your designs are very cute because I've seen these things before and you've like customized it, and that's very nice. I don't really have much else to say, you know? What is this? Oh, this is music. I thought you designed this thing. It's cute. It's nice. It's very cool. Vsauce does amazing video. Yeah, Vsauce does everything. They're cool. They're nice. I don't have much. I'm not the right person to give you feedback on these, other than they're cool. So I'm going to leave it there and we're going to move on. If anyone else has some feedback and knows Rain World a little bit better and can give more feedback, come to the feedback. This isn't just for me to give feedback. Do it yourself. You do the work. You do the work. I'll just sit back. I'll sit back and chill. Okay, next up. Let's go. So Hop 2D. What do you mean brutal? It was just difficult. It's a difficult game. Hop 2D, a different old school 2D platformer. I'd like to show you Hop 2D, my 2D precision platformer. In this old school pixelated game, Hop must rescue her girlfriend through many worlds. Unlike Soultune's Project Faceplant, Hop, the main character, jumps continuously and you can only move him left or right. That's cool. Opposite. I like that. This limitation does not prevent Hop from reaching higher platforms. activate several mechanisms, avoid enemies and fight bosses. Try on itch.io, search for hop. You could put the link, my dude. Let's check it out. Hop 2D. Of course you'd like it, Dom. Try it on itch.io, search for hop 2D. Oh my god, do you see the amount of work? See the amount of work that I've got to go through to try these games, huh? I thought you meant like gory. Nah, it's not gory. Hop 2D, there it is. Play in browser, that's what I like to see. Let's check it out. Loading, it's a Godot game, it seems. Imagine not posting a link. Yeah, I know. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Did I break it already? I think I broke it. I broke the game. Let's refresh. Let's try again. Okay, so with games, I'm probably just going to give you my personal feedback. Downloading a zip file, play game feels so bad. I'll never do it. That goes for anyone who wants to share their video games. Make sure it's playable online. I will not ever be downloading games to play. We've had community members lose accounts, Discord accounts, lose access to their computer and stuff because of that. So yeah, I will never do it personally. It's a French game. I don't know how to make it not French. Scroll wheel. Okay, this is a weird menu, man. I don't know what's going on, dude. Please let me pick my menu. Software Pirate got submitted malware for his game jam? Who's Software Pirate? You mean Pirate Software? Is that the other one? There was a French flag, yeah, but how do you go to it? Alright, let's refresh again. Worst menu system in any game I've ever played, firstly. There's your first feedback. Should be very simple. You like the DOS style the game has? I just need to change the language. Wrong way around, sue me. I will sue you, actually. Un jeu et two touches. Okay, now how do I get to that French thing? I can't click on it, so that's a no-go. I think it's in the menu. Let's press enter. Now, how do I get to the options? We go this way. Confirm. Language. English. Oh, we're in. We're in. Why is it upside? Why is it sideways? That's kind of annoying. Backspace. Back to the menu. Back to the menu. Full screen. Okay, it's not in full screen. That's fine. Let's play. How do we play? Campaign. There we go. Worlds. World 1 Traggle. Yeah, I like the style. The art style is cool. Learn how to control hop. Left and right. Right. Okay. So you're constantly moving and you move the sound. Okay. First problem. I like how retro this is. Okay. I like the retro style. With any platformer. This goes for any platformer. Was this made for an arcade machine? Yeah, the square resolution. With any platformer, when I'm moving right, I should be seeing more of the right-hand side of the screen. Should have wrote, don't destroy my dreams, man. Yeah, oh my goodness, Jackie Codes with the insane raid. How's it going? Hype in the chat for Jackie Codes. I appreciate you. Let's give a shout out. How was your stream? What was going on? Appreciate that insane raid. Show us your work. What the heck? Okay. Guess I will. What's going on, people, from Jackie Code stream? So my name, if you don't know, is Soul Tunes. I make art and games. I'm currently working on a video which is all about how to finish long projects, which is funny because I haven't finished my long project yet, but the video is a long project, so, you know, and it requires like 1 million different drawings, and I'm almost finished it, so that's hype. And when that's finished, I'll be going back to work on my game, which is, oh my god, nothing is loading. I'll be going back to work on my game, which is called Faceplant. I'll show you. Jackie has been making such a, yeah, it's Logcraft, right? Still working on Logcraft. So cool. Jackie's doing awesome things. I saw Jackie went to GodotCon, which is sick. Jackie's killing it. I love to see it. You love to see it. Do 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 do. So this is the video that I've been working on. There are literally a million drawings for it with goblins and how to finish quests. It's all rhymed. If you've ever seen like Dr. Seuss, Dr. Seuss type rhymes, that's what the video is like, basically. It's kind of annoying actually, but maybe some people will like it. I don't know. I'll post it, a million dislikes. But I've been working really hard on this for the past couple of months. I also started a new job, so that's been getting in the way. That's been getting in the way of any sort of productivity. But the video should be done fairly soon, hopefully, and that will be what that video's about. And then I can go back to working on my game, which you can see here is called Faceplant. And Faceplant is a 2D precision platformer game where you only control the jumping, and it's brutally difficult. It's brutally difficult because you're constantly moving. Oh, go the wrong way. You're constantly moving. You play as this little plant and you have to get as high as possible. Imagine Jump King. Yeah, imagine Jump King. I started adding in the artwork. As you can see, some of the areas don't have artwork, but there's so far about 50 levels or something. All of the levels are basically finished, just about tweaking things now. And yeah, I hope to finish this at some point. I don't know when. I don't know when it'll be finished, but basically that's what's going on. That's what hold on. That's what's going on. I'll show you some of the later areas. Okay, not that area because it's broken. But this area, the clouds, like double jumps in the air, basically. Fairly standard stuff. We need more devlogs, by the way. I know it's been such a long time. I just started a new job working in a stock room where I move boxes around. It's okay. It's just a means to an end, basically. So I haven't really had the time. In my spare time, I've been working on that video that I just showed, and it's nearly finished. And then it's back to devlogs. It's back to that kind of thing. Let me go to a different area. 54, this is portals. So this one's the portal puzzle where basically you enter portals in the right... Uh-oh, I'm failing. That's Faceplant. You fail a lot, right? And then later on, you've got things like this. Where are they? Like conveyors, speed belts, all that stuff. And I've been making progress on it with the art and stuff. We're currently in a big play test. Oh my god, this game is frustrating. We're currently in a big play test, and I need to update some stuff, and then I'll make the next devlog, like I said, after the next video is done, which should... I'm gonna rage. I'm gonna rage. Okay, let's not show that anymore. But that's basically what I'm working on. Soul in the back rooms. That's right. Yeah, that's right. But today we're doing Feedback Friday. If you don't know what Feedback Friday is, basically you can post your work, your art, your games, whatever, and we'll give you feedback. We'll show it off. I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube right now, so pardon me, that's what we're doing. This is the kind of game that makes raging gamer content. Yeah, basically total. Yeah. Can't even draw a line and create, and I tried. This is sick. Thanks, Roger. Appreciate you. Salty Tune, what's up? Nyano Cat, hello. Don't crumble under the pressure. Output overflow. Yeah, I always get that. But yeah, we were currently checking out this game, which is kind of the opposite of Faceplant here. It's kind of the opposite of Faceplant, where you don't control the movement. You don't control the jumping, you only control the movement. So we're given some feedback of this one. It's got a mad style. Like, you can probably see that right here. It's called, what was it called? Hop 2D or something. But the first bit of feedback I gave is when I hold on. First bit of... And you can give feedback as well, but the first bit of feedback that I gave was when I'm moving right in a platformer, I should see more right-hand side, you know? Come on. I'm stuck in here. I'm gonna rage. Gain momentum. Okay, this is really difficult. In a good way, like skill-based. Very cool. Thanks for following James Greenfoot, I appreciate it. Love the new artwork. What up, Mikado? How you doing? The first one was, this is the worst menu I've ever seen. Yeah, oh yeah, that was the first feedback I gave. It was, they had a terrible menu system. Probably because it was in French and I don't speak French. So I can't really bust your balls for that, really, can I? I can't really bust your balls for that. Bit zoom out and also adding way less camera smoothing. Yeah, I agree, Juho. Great feedback. Oh, easy win. Look, speed run. But it's pretty fun overall. The levels are a bit short. Fuck it. This doesn't feel like I'm controlling much. It just feels like I'm waiting to hit the right spot, which is kind of annoying. There we go. I don't care about coins. Gotta love a Super Meat Boy goal. Yes, it does feel very Super Meat Boy. You were talking about the faceplant level artwork. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, the artwork is coming along nicely. Oh, I've got to go this way. The artwork's coming along nicely. There's a lot of it to do. A lot of the artwork to do, but like I said, the devlogs for faceplant will resume after this next video. The next video that I'm making, it was only supposed to take a couple of weeks, but it ended up taking months, so sometimes that happens. Thanks for following your data sucks, I appreciate you. Okay, this is okay. Cubic encounter in sight. Maybe this is like a different level. This is like you gotta press buttons or something. This is what the heck is that thing? Q-Box's den. It's a boss. Okay, no problem. We can smash the boss. Die, Q-Box. Where does it go? It's almost dead. It's almost dead. Killed it. Killed it. Did we win? We did win. Speedrun. It's like Dark Souls. I like the Mario Maker style. Everything built out of blocks. Yeah, I like that as well. Overall, it's got a unique energy, this game. It's got a unique vibe. It's got a unique energy. It's got interesting mechanics. There's coins everywhere, which is cool. We like coins, although I don't like collecting things. I'm not a collector. Are you a collector? When you play games, do you collect things? I never collect things, man. I don't care. I'm not a completionist. I just want to win all of the time. Uh-oh. 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 Okay, okay. I'm gonna rage quit. But if you'd like to try this game yourself, here it is. Astalis. I'll pop the links in both chats. I keep trying to turn my head. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. Right, folks. Give me a second here. Give me a sec. Let's move on. I think my feedback for that, it's pretty good. And I agree with what Juho said. A little bit of a zoom out, a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of a move. When you're moving right, I'd like to see more of the right-hand side of the screen. Maybe the zoom out would fix that. I don't know. But overall, it's cool. I like the quirky style. It's very fun. It's unique. I would recommend checking it out. Thanks for the follow, Mikado Vivo. Appreciate you. I combust if I don't collect everything. You can't post the link. You have to tell people to go to itch and search for it. Oh, yeah, yeah. Because that's how we were found. I'm going to say spoken about on stream. And let's move on. Spoken on stream. Let's go. Next one is Santa's mugshot. Vivo is still a thing? I have no idea. So, Brandon says, I saw a shirt in the store with a similar design. Decided to make my own version. Pardon me. I'm going to post updated versions here as I make them. Going for the cartoon style for the first time. The hair above the eyebrows is going to be covered by his hat, so you weren't too worried about styling it. I know it's a little early for this still, but this is the two designs I want to get. One of two designs I want to get done before December starts. And of the two, this is the simplest. As always, feedback appreciated. It looks cool. But I would be careful of one big thing. One big thing here. Does anyone know what it is? That isn't reference this time. Usually it's reference. Usually we mention reference. What is one thing that I'm going to point out? I did talk about this in the last Feedback Friday stream, so if you pick it up, 10 points to you. What is it? What am I going to say? Different pixel size? No, but that is one thing. Not a bad guess. Not a bad guess. Reference? No, not reference. Pixel size? No. No. You should see my Fallout hoarding. Do you collect everything in Fallout? I never do that. Like cheese shack. Shape? No. Lack of shadows? No. Body's missing? No. Although the body is missing. No. Lack of shadows is a style thing, and there's a couple of shadows in there. It's I could see it, and it's hurting my eyes to look at. It's not hurting my eyes. It's just a feeling you get. Anyone spotted it? Not yet? Come on, folks. You've been watching. You even watch the streams, folks? Do you even watch? Even watch the streams? What if I point it out? Do you know what it is now? curves? No. Eyes wide open? No, it's not value. Lines on lines. Lines on lines. What does that mean? What is that? What's that called? Oh no, says Dom2D. It's a tangent. Let's go, Falafel. Falafel and Water's got it. Intersecting lines. It's a tangent. It's a visual tangent. So this looks like these two things are connecting. Visual tangents, folks. Got to be careful. For those of you that don't know what a visual tangent is, there's a really good little document about this. About the different types of visual tangents and things that look off. You know, things that look off when things have tangents, basically. Visual tangents in comic. What is it? Here it is. The Schweizer Guide to Spotting Tangents. Would recommend reading this out. This person, I believe it's Chris Schweizer, has really cool comic book artwork. And a tangent is when things look off. So, for example, if I just move my bald head out the way, check out this. This person's hat here is connecting to the barn in the background. That's a tangent, you know? This is called a parallel tangent. You see the coat of this soldier's arm and this person's gun, they're making it look a little off. And the smoke around the hat, it's around the same shape. It's better to overlap in this instance. I don't know why the corner one isn't loading, but whatever. Does it load when I do that? No. Bump up tangents is one that we've just seen, where the edge of something is bumping against the edge of another thing and they become one shape. These are little tangents you'll start to spot, you know? Things like that when you make art. Directional tangents. Now, directional tangents could also be used as like composition as well. They also be used as compositional techniques, but a tangent is when it like connects, you know? I thought it was a stylistic choice. No, there's no such thing as a stylistic choice. You do it right or you do it not at all. Could be a stylistic choice, I guess, if you wanted to. But there. Anyway, I'd recommend checking that out. But yeah, it's a cool Santa. I'd say the Santa looks a little like expressionless. The Santa looks a little robotic and expressionless. If this is Santa Claus is being found for breaking and entering. And if I was caught, and I have been caught by the police, I was definitely not like this. I've been arrested before, and I didn't look like this. I'm sure I've told that story anyway. I didn't actually do anything. I was falsely arrested, folks. Falsely accused. Come on. What do you think I am? Some sort of criminal? Santa is sucking the soul out of my body. Yeah. Make Santa look beat up. Yeah, just give it more of a... It needs a bit more personality, you know? Needs a bit more personality. It needs a bit more expression. You know, it's a bit expressionless for being a mugshot, you know? Like, if I was going to draw a Santa Claus mugshot, and it was like breaking and entering, like, what does Santa do? Santa comes in and steals and eats the cookies and stuff, right? Put the cookies on the lip, you know, make them look a little bit like why would they'd be like a little bit angry about it, you know? They might have a black eye or something from being taken down, like Water said. Like, just give them a bit more personality, you know? And obviously finish off the thing. Also, I kind of just picture Santa as like big jolly guy, and he looks a little bit gaunt. It might be the angle of the beard here, creating that like gaunt look. Maybe Santa not been eating enough of those cookies or something. Santa can't be 6 foot. Hey, just bang on 6 foot. This should be like 8 foot. I imagine Santa's just 8 foot tall. Santa's actually just a floating head, yeah. That's what I say. It needs an earring and a badass tattoo. Yeah, that would look cool, right? Like, make it your own. Add the little tattoo. Maybe like an elf tattoo. Maybe like a teardrop for every murder. That would be kind of fucked up, but you get the idea. You get the idea, folks. That's all I'll say on that one. Spoken about on stream. Next up. Hey, made a 2D, another video game. Oh my goodness, another... What the heck? Another video game. This is by Ujjit. Made a 2D beat 'em up game about a mafia member called Tommy. Tommy, such a mafia name. Tommy. Come on, Tommy. Need some feedback? Here is the itch link. Oh my god, we got a link this time. Lucky. The game on itch profile is only downloadable. When I made it playable on browser, some of the sprite sheets turned into black boxes. If it's only downloadable, you know what I'm gonna say. I can't play it, unfortunately, but we can have a look at it. I can't play it. I don't play downloadable games. I'm not trying to get hacked. Nothing like that. Not that I'm saying you would. I just need to keep it the same. So rip your game. But if anyone would like to risk it, if anyone would like to risk it, please check out the link. Check out the link. Let's take a look at some videos, maybe. There's a video about this. But the reason I do that, for those of you who just joined, I did speak about this before, was someone from our community actually got hacked from doing something very similar to this. So, wow, this dude's just getting punched in the face. This is the trailer. Look at this. What the fuck? This dude's got the strongest jaw in the world. Why is he not fighting back? Oh my god, he went flying! Look, he goes flying at the end. Super punch. You love it. You love to see it. Game's demo has released today. That is so Tommy, yeah. What about installing a virtual machine? Yeah, I've tried that in the past. It's just a mess on. Plus, sometimes you don't even need to run it. Sometimes they run automatically. Like, it's just a mess on, you old monk. It's a mess on. That's just a simple rule. I will not play downloadable games unless it's hosted through Steam or something, right? That counts. That's okay. You're fine. But I mean, this looks cool. The artwork looks nice. I'd say the artwork looks really cool, actually. The artwork looks really nice. If anyone wants to play it, feel free. I'm just going to say I don't play downloadable games. Play downloadable games, unfortunately. But it looks nice. And the trailer is funny. Is this yours, you old monk? Great mood. Yeah, great atmosphere. I want to punch that guy in the face too now. I want to punch that guy in the face. No. Okay. First ever pixel art. Oh my goodness, the first ever pixel art post. Except the ones I try to check at Notebook in math lessons. Let's go. Please give me feedback because I really want your opinion. Well, this is nice. For your first ever pixel art, you've got some nice colors there. You've got some textures. You got a lot of stuff going on. It looks cool. I think whenever I see someone who posts their first ever artwork, the best thing that you can do is give them all of the praise in the world. Keep going. Keep making art. You will improve in time. I'm not going to go into specifics of you know, like fundamentals and context and all that rubbish. Just keep having fun. If you had fun making this art, keep doing that. That's all I'd say. So I'm going to say amazing. Keep making art. We want to see more. Oh, I would love to see more. Encouragement, my friends. Encourage these people. Oh my goodness. Next up, we got a Spider-Man. This is Waters here. What up? And for a first pixel art, that's kind of nuts, you know? That's kind of nuts. So keep that up. I appreciate you sharing. Hey all, just wondering if I could get some feedback on this. Not really feeling some parts, some perspective issues with the forehand and such, but I'd like to get a second opinion. The shorts and jacket aren't too best, but I can't seem to figure it out. Clearly, without reference, I am nothing. Reference! Reference! Yeah, reference. Solid. Okay. Is this the latest one? Have you got the latest one? Just realized I put the wrong leg on the wrong layer. This is the latest one, I'm guessing. Let's check this out. Spider-Man. Let's see what this person said. I really love what you did with the top part until the genius thing's front leg. Super. Now use jaggy pixel. Try and move the jaggy pick. Try and move jaggies. Oh my god. Crave. I'm gonna headbutt them. Also, the front shoelaces are kind of weird. I think they finish them. Okay. You love this one? You saw it the other day? Let's have a look ourselves. So I looked at this and I like it overall. Stylistically, very cool. Characters in perspective. Characters in perspective. Engineer Lucas, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. How's it going? Characters in perspective are very, very difficult. Probably one of the hardest things, I think. Especially a cool pose. Like a cool pose character in perspective, that's very difficult. Always picks like difficult stuff, man. Always a real challenge. A real challenge in yourself. I like that. That's how you'll grow. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, change canvas size. So, let's talk about that. Firstly, yes, I know the hand on the left is bigger than on the right. Yes, it is. That's okay. It's okay. Didn't even notice that until you said. Why are characters in perspective so difficult? Let me explain. Firstly, because it's a character. And you have everything that deals with a character. You have everything to get right or to look accurate, basically. So, proportions. You have anatomy knowledge. And on top of that, you also have, with this character specifically, you have clothing. And clothing is actually its own beast as well. Clothing, there are layers to anatomy. You have skeletal, right? Before you have skeletal, you have flow. You have the whole flow. Thanks for the follow, Tony. Appreciate you. Fine. I'm new in pixel art and game dev, so I'm hitting to best of the best. I don't hope you're not hitting anyone. Don't hit anyone. But what's going on, Lucas? Realistic falls and clothing is something I struggle with. Yeah. There's a reason why most superheroes don't have clothes. Yeah. So you have the flow. Thanks for the follow, Salty Tune. Appreciate you. Thanks for all these follows today, folks. What legends. Type in the chat for you all. You got the flow, you got the skeletal, you got the muscular. Yeah. You have vernacular, veins and stuff. I don't know how to spell it. You have fat, sebaceous. Is that right? I don't know. But you have fat. You have wrinkles, skin. Okay. And then you have clothes. You have hair, but I don't include hair because I don't have hair, so we will do that. And then you have clothing. And clothing has its own like little subcategories of stuff. Okay? Clothing has its own little subcategories of stuff, which is why when you break that down, it's actually really difficult. It's actually really, really difficult. And then on top of that, you're doing also perspective. So you have to draw all of that, and you're going to try and do it in perspective. Okay? Which is why it's difficult. Which is fine. So, big challenge here. So I'm just going to talk about all of those things from top to bottom that I've just had on there, and I'm just going to remember them, and we're going to just have a look. We're just going to have a look from the top. Proportions. Proportionally, I think you've done a pretty good job. Thanks for the follow, Travis is trying. I appreciate you. You tried to follow and you achieved. So you didn't even try today. You just achieved. I appreciate that. I go to the best in this I got you, Lucas. Say no worries. No worries. I appreciate you trying to translate as well. If English isn't your first language. Or if it is your first language, I mean, try harder. But I appreciate you. Oh my goodness. Kramit the Frog, $2. Good afternoon, Soul Tunes. Hope you have been well. I'm doing well, thanks, Kramit. How you been? How are you doing today? Bold is sacred, be proud, my man. Of course, of course. Eminem is the Spider-Man. So let's start with this. We're just giving feedback today, by the way. People are so hard to draw, just stick to slimes. I agree. Hair stops existing every time Soul shaves his head. I thought the costume was clothes. True. But it's like skin tight, right? Like lycra. So, proportionally, I think you got a good job going on here. Let's just have a look. Let's just do a couple checks. We've got the hips. We got the legs. Maybe a little bit short, maybe a little bit small, proportionally, but actually not so bad in terms of everything together. No problem, thank you for all the resources. Hey, no worries at all, Travis. No worries at all. More to come, hopefully. More to come in the future, once I get through these projects of mine. Once I get through these projects. Krimit! Appreciate you. Shoot femurs. Yeah, legs are a little short, but could maybe be excused with the perspective, and I can see why you've gone there because of kind of the sitting down almost, like, you know, like downwards approach. What do I always say about proportions in anatomy? Your best friend is reference. Your best friend is reference in this thing. The next thing I'd say, pardon me, you okay? You just woke up getting ready for work. You work 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. as a dispatch supervisor. Well, I hope that goes well. I just started working in a stock room where I move boxes around. So, yeah, sometimes you got to work, right? You got to work to pay the bills, to live. Yeah. I hope that goes well for you today. So, also, I forgot one thing: lighting, shadows, color. We have all of these things. Everything is in this. Line work, you know, line work. Everything is in this. I don't mind the jaggies here. Actually, I disagree with what Creative Brush says. I think the jaggies work with the shape of the pants. I can imagine these pants like cargo type shorts. I think that works just fine. So you try and do all of this, and it's really, really difficult. It's really, really difficult. You've kind of got like a top-down almost frontal lighting going on, but we'll get to the lighting in the end. We'll get to the lighting later. So we've talked about proportions. Maybe look a little bit off. Maybe some things look a little off. The legs look a little thin, for example. The hands look the hands and arms, like the arms, the forearms especially, are very chunky compared to the legs. They're very chunky compared to the legs. By the way, ads on YouTube are about to run in about 50 seconds, just so you know. So that's firstly proportions in anatomy. We've talked about that briefly. Let's move on to the clothing, I think. One thing that I think could help the clothing is some folds. So that's a huge thing, especially with shading. The lower body part is where the problem is, I guess. Yeah, perhaps if these were a little thicker. Maybe not that thick, Jesus. Person did calf day. Maybe that would work a little. Spider-Man is where he skips leg day, yeah. I think what would help here, the pants and the clothes, apart from this section up here, which has a little indication of like that fold, they look a little bit flat. And it's because it's sort of pillow shaded in a way where, like, and by pillow shading, I mean you take something, this is a pillow, and then you just add in light on top like that. That's called pillow shading. And that can make something look really flat, because it doesn't really have an indication of like direction. And with that, you can kind of commit a bit more to it. So let me show you what I mean by that, if I get rid of my little notes here. So I'm just going to shade this real quick without that. I'm going to pick a direction and stick to it. That's the difficult thing about like front shading, okay? Front shading or like top shading is really hard because you're contending with the lack of direction. So if I just take this and I just choose a different direction, let's say I go this way, right hand side, you can have a much stronger idea of that, and you could even put the face in shadow and stuff, put all this in shadow, and don't be scared to hide details. Don't be scared to hide details, because actually it will create a stronger form. I'm just going to shade this the way you've done it here, directionally, maybe a little bit here. Same with the pants. But notice quickly how maybe a little bit there. It's kind of difficult to see perspective wise. And it's hard with the arms. It's hard with the arms because you've got the details on top of that, which also, they kind of look like a light source. I know they're not. I know they're not a light source, but they kind of look like it. Might do a little bit more shadow here. But do you see how you're getting more 3D? I don't know if you can see that really from my drawing. From one direction. One directional. Anyone like that part? Same thing with the hands and the legs. Same thing with the shoes. The face. Okay. But I hope you can see there's more form building. overall. Maybe not the best form, but you kind of get the point. Yeah, I think you kind of get the point there. That's why a front lighting or top lighting is really hard to pull off, because most of the time it just comes off as pillow shading. So the next thing that I want to talk about is Panache. Hi Soultunes, my pet rat just died today and I came to the stream to make me feel a bit better. Hope you do. Oh, sorry to hear that, Panache. It's never nice when a pet dies, because they're like family, right? They're like family. I'm sorry to hear that. But I hope you can have a nice chill time in the stream and take your mind off it. I had pet rats when I was younger. They were called Freud and Picasso. They were cute. Their tails are weird, but I like them. I have heard that filmmakers prefer to film on the shadow side of the character. Maybe it makes for a better image. They prefer to film on the shadow side. That's interesting. Calves are genetic. Yeah. No problem. Thank you for the resources. All good. I think the best way to spot the problem in the body proportions and form is to remove the jacket and pants. Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of make out underneath, but yeah. So the other thing that I want to talk about with clothing and fabric, and this is like a whole subject in itself, like I've already said, but folds in the way that clothing moves. And there's a really cool trick, but in order to do this trick, I need to run away for approximately 1 second. Okay. Toilet paper. Tissue paper. Tissue paper works a little better because it's bigger. This is a leg, okay? My finger is a leg. I will put the toilet paper on top and wrap it round, okay? I don't know if you'll really see this. It looks great in person. I'm going to wrap the clothes around my leg. Imagine where the seam is. The seam is important, right? Because pants have seams, right? Sometimes they have seams around the side. Sometimes they have seams around the back. Depends on the pants. But if I take... Look, this is why tissue paper is better, because it's bigger. I take this tissue and I do this. Look at that. Can you see? Can you see where things are folding? I mean, it's better with bigger. It's better with bigger. It always is the case. Ask your mom. No, just kidding. Look at this. Now, if I pinch the bottom, yeah, if I pinch the bottom of this paper, notice what happens. Fuck. Notice how I pinch the bottom and what's happening there? What's happening there? It's pulling towards the pinch point. Wrinkles. Wrinkles towards the pinch point. Now, when you're drawing fabric and you're drawing clothes, think about where those pinch points are. Look at me. I'm wearing a big jumper, right? I could have just used my jumper. Could have just used my jumper. If I flatten it all out and then I let it hang, right? Look at where the pinch points are. It's hanging on the elbows. If I move the elbow, the top of the thing, everything's pinching towards points. And what those pinch points do, they create lines. You know, they create lines, and you can do that really easily with legs, with little bits of tissue paper and stuff. If you bend the leg, fuck man, I wish I had some tissue paper right now. If you bend it, you'll start to notice where those folds go, where those lines create. That's a really cool way to study that. And also, wait, hold on. Oh, hold on. Let's go. Let's go. Wrinkles. Check this out. My goodness, never thought I'd have much fun with toilet paper in my life. Let's clothe this bad boy. Pinch some legs, I'm listening. Let's clothe this bad boy up. Okay, this is his new arm. I'm going to bend the arm. This is a terrible demonstration. It's not working as I pictured it would, because you need bigger toilet paper, but you kind of get the point anyway. If you look at it that way, you start to see pinch points. It's wrong. Reference and bigger toilet paper. That's what you need. Tissue paper. And that's going to help you. Also, there's a video of Kim Jung-gi, rest in peace, amazing artist, who has been through how folds work, and I'd recommend following that because the folds will dictate where your shadows go, you know. So I'd probably see folds bunching up here. You know, there'd be folds bunching up here around the crotch area, definitely, because you're moving your legs. There'd be folds in the knees, especially, because remember where the places move around, you know. All kinds of wrong in the last 2 minutes. I know, we're getting crazy. It's when the streams get a little later on. And that's going to dictate not only the folds of the pants, right? Not going to dictate the folds of the pants, but where the light lies. And it's also going to help your perspective. Remember last week I spoke about drawing cylinders. Last week I spoke about drawing cylinders in space. And it's very, very easy to do that when you draw in the lines, okay? When you draw in the curved lines. Those folds on pants and clothes, they're basically your curve lines. You know, they're basically everything that will give us an idea of that perspective. So you can draw those in to indicate the direction of things and how things are hanging down. And, you know, that's going to help out a lot. Obviously, you can go too crazy with that. So what do you look for? You look for reference. Clothing. I literally just typed in clothing folds. Oh my god, I could just Google it instead of doing that stupid tissue thing. But you look for clothing folds, and triangles is a very common shape with this, by the way. A lot of artists simplify this down to triangles. But this is what I'm saying, right? Different types of clothes, the thickness of materials. Very, very difficult. It's a big subject. It's a big topic, big subject matter. You look for toilet paper, yes. Question, go ahead. Question away. But just a couple of lines will make it'll make your life better. Better than a few hours before. Glad you're doing much better now, at least. It's always difficult, you know. It's such a horrible situation, but I hope you're feeling better. You look for toilet paper, yeah. Look for reference. Use reference. If you don't have any reference, take the reference. This is really cool. Look, this is what I'm talking about. Pinch points. Pinch points create the shapes, and you can simplify those shapes with triangles. This tissue is a great, fast, and almost free resource that you can modulate to your will, so it was helpful. Yeah, unless you're in COVID times, and then tissue paper is, you know, impossible to find. Do I look for a pose for reference before I start drawing, or do I get a pose reference first? I would get a pose reference before you start drawing. Yeah. Yeah. Have an idea of what it is that you're looking for, or have an idea of what you want to draw, and get that pose reference. And you don't always need to use the reference exactly, right? It's kind of like the way I describe it is doing thumbnail drawings. Doing thumbnail drawings before drawing an environment. One second. Doing thumbnail drawings before drawing an environment. The thumbnail drawings are going to help you the thumbnail drawings are going to help you have an idea of what's going on. Yeah? And a pose is doing all of the hard work for you. Like finding a pose that you like, or literally acting out the pose that you like, is going to help you massively. I'd recommend acting it out and taking a picture, because you'll understand the body mechanics, you'll understand the perspective. Hold on, I got to respond to a message. Such a poser. Yes. Poses. I'd recommend getting a pose beforehand, because it's very hard to apply the pose or ideas about the reference afterwards. You know what I mean? Because you'd have to change the mechanics, you'd have to change the base and everything, which is why last week I recommended that posing website to practice your poses. If you keep doing that, what's that called? Drawing something? The heck was it called? Daily Pose, I think it was called. Sketch Daily or something, Quick Poses. It might be Quick Poses or something, but there's a lot of websites. Line of Action. What is it with your phone? I'm just getting messages. Hold on. I need to mute. I don't know how to mute. Okay. What is it with your phone? Yeah. Oh my goodness, stop. I'm so popular, folks. What can I say? Yes. So folds, poses, I'd get reference before you start drawing. There you go. I've been doing some figure drawings to try and help me out. Still can't seem to crack it. Figure drawing is something you'll do for your entire life. It's something you'll do for the entire life. And it's something you'll improve at over time. It's figure drawing, I think, again, like I said, is one of the hardest things, I think, with classical drawing, with classical art. I didn't get the notification of this live next. No. Well, you can always watch the stream afterwards because it's going to be live on. It's going to be up on YouTube forever. So you can always just watch through it if you want. Well, there's been a pretty good lessons today. This is probably going to be the last thing I'm going to check out today, folks, because I've got to go to the shop before it closes. But yes, I would say be careful of top-down lighting, frontal lighting, because it can be difficult, especially putting things in shadow will help a lot with that. Drawing something in perspective is very difficult. And I say all this, Waters, and I'd like to say, I know I've been very there's been a lot of points to talk about with this, and it's just because it's such a difficult subject matter, and the things that you're trying to achieve, there's a lot of depth in all of it. However, you've actually done a really good job. You've actually done a really good job, you know, especially if you haven't drawn this type of thing before in perspective with close, with folds, and you just said you started doing the poses, you started doing all that stuff. You've done a really good job. This isn't bad by any means, you know. This isn't like, oh my god, this is terrible. There are just things that you can tweak, and it's kind of like what, how can I describe this? How can I describe this in a way that you will understand? It's kind of like me, right, making a circuit. It's kind of like me making a very simple electrical circuit. I'm not even going to draw it because I'd get it wrong. It's like me doing an electrical circuit and you're going, this is good, but electricity and electrical engineering, you're just scratching the surface here. And that's the same with here. This is very, very good, and in fact, this is better than beginner, way better than beginner. Probably you're showing a lot of good skill here, but with each of these individual things like posing, lighting, clothing, folds, anatomy, all of that is super deep, you know. It's like super deep, and I would recommend just doing some studies on those as individual things. And I guarantee if you just study clothing folds, if you've been doing the poses, I've already seen improvement. That we've seen your past poses were a lot more flat than this, a lot more flat, a lot more robotic. I know some of them were actual robots, so that makes sense, but they were a lot more flat. But you're improving from doing the poses, you know. So if you look into like anatomy, proportions, that's going to improve. Your clothing's going to improve. You're doing the right things. You know, you're doing the right things. It just takes time. It just takes time and practice. So keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. What else can I talk about? What else would you want me to talk about? Also, I will say, trying to get the Spider-Man lines, you're crazy. You're crazy. In pixel art, in perspective, you're actually crazy. You're actually crazy. But yeah, I think you've done a great job. And I think it's just refining and tweaking all of those areas, and you'll see huge improvements. Literally, if you do a day, you know, if you do a day of just clothing and folds, the next time you like draw on top of this or you do your next piece, you'll notice an improvement. Like you will. Because what I've seen from Waters, folks, and this goes for anyone who's watching this and is curious about getting feedback, or you've posted your work for feedback. If you are consistent, and Waters has been very, very consistent in the community, posting artwork for feedback, action in the feedback, which is really important, because some people don't. Some people just ask for feedback and they're like, okay, cool, I'll do the same thing again next week, or the next couple of weeks, or whenever they post. Action in the feedback and continuing with it and growing. We see insane improvements. Like Waters is improving. It's really cool. But a little of that is me, you know. Little of that is me. I just say, oh, try this, check this out. most of the work, the majority of the work is coming from Waters' dedication, you know? It's coming from Waters' dedication to art. Waters also works a full-time job, has a house, you know? Is going to start streaming soon. Still dedicating to art, you know? You can't teach that, really. I mean, you can, but that's hard. That's harder than drawing something in perspective. You know, so ambitious too. Yeah, not scared of a challenge. Definitely not. I looked at this when I first saw it and I go, Jesus, this is difficult. You know, I go, Jesus, this is difficult. But you've tackled it. And the reason there's so much to talk about today in the feedback is because you've tried to do something insanely difficult, which is good. The ambition is good. So yeah, I'm probably going to leave it there. Folds, anatomy, perspective, you've done a great job. Check those things out, do a little deep dive. Pick one, you know. Your ambition is good, but you'll see faster improvement. Oh my God, I'm getting text again. You'll see faster improvement if you just focus on one thing and study that directly. Like, just pick clothing, folds. Literally look into folds. And you'll see that area ping up, yeah? This goes for everyone. How do you improve at art? Okay? How do you improve at art? Here's how you do it. You ready? Here's how you do it. I'm going to make a video on this. But here's how you get better at art. Art is just a series of subjects like everything else. Art is line. Art is color. Art is shape. Art is perspective. You know? Art is also feeling. Now, I would put this into, there's two types of art, two sides of art. Yeah? There's the technical side, which is basically what we give feedback on a lot. It's the technical side. But then you also have the feeling side, the emotional side of art. Something that makes you think. It's feeling, it's thinking. You know, it's purpose. And a lot of the feedback we give is technical. And technical skills are very, very easy to improve. So also are emotional, but it's a different type of learning. The technical skills like anatomy, clothing, all the stuff we talked about today, perspective, whatever else there is, value, my brain goes blank now. They're really easy to improve on because you just put the time in, pick one, you know? And you don't know how deep these things are until you get into them, which is why we see something like what Waters has done, where they go, boom, I'm going to try this insane pose. And then I go, whoa, this is super complicated. This is super ambitious, which is great to see. But then you go, okay, there's anatomy, and there's like, you start looking at anatomy, and anatomy has like one thing, and then another thing, and then another thing, and another thing, another thing, another thing. Like, it's deep. Like, these subjects are really, really deep. So pick something if you'd like to study this way and hone in on it, and you'll improve. And you'll look like a RPG character. This is the best way to imagine. Imagine you're playing like World of Warcraft, some sort of RPG. This is your name, and you have some sort of level associated with you. It's probably just your age. I'm 28, almost 29. And then each of these areas will have like a stat bar, right? Like line, shape, color, anatomy, value, blah, blah, blah. And the amount of time that you put in it, these bars will up and increase. And someone just asked the question, is there a particular order in which you would learn art? I'm currently a beginner artist, and I don't want to waste time on things that would be a subject when you're more skilled. I think when you're a beginner, the best thing that you can do is have as much fun as possible. Like Dom2D just said, some people get discouraged because they think they need to excel in all of the elements before being an artist. Exactly. If you're a beginner, don't even worry about this. Don't even worry about the different areas. Don't worry about anything. And even this might go for Waters. The only reason I kind of dove a little deeper for Waters is because Waters is consistently practicing and has shown that they are making art consistently. The best thing that you can do to improve your art is to have fun making art. Have fun making art. Make anything. Make anything. You can't treat it like a subject, right? You can't treat it as a subject where you start with one thing and you start with like sketching. But if you hate sketching, if you find that really unfun, you're probably not going to continue to the other stuff, right? You're not going to continue. Like if you hate doing Hello World, if you hate doing Hello World, you're not going to graduate into making your own app for web, right? If you're a programmer and that is more relevant for you. If you hate doing basic arithmetic, you're probably going to hate later on. Like you're going to discourage yourself, you know? I definitely picked some elements I didn't have fun with and kicked them out. Exactly. I'll tell you about my story. I started drawing very, very young, and one of my favorite things to draw were superheroes. I like drawing Spider-Man. I like drawing just heroes in general. I wanted to draw big, muscly characters, and I wasn't very good at drawing big, muscly characters, but I enjoyed it a lot. And I'd show people, and I'd get encouraged, so I'd draw more, and I'd get more encouragement. People would stick it on fridges. People would go, that's really cool. And it's like, yeah, there you go. And eventually you go, well, I want to improve at this. How do I improve at it? Well, I should probably learn some anatomy. That sounds cool. So I started learning anatomy. My anatomy skill was going up. And that's when I was like focused on one thing. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I've gotten better at anatomy. I can draw a duck, right? This is a duck. I'm not very good at duck anatomy, as you can see. But this is a duck with giant muscles. Super accurate, or at least closer to than it was before, you know? Obliques, abs, this is obviously stylized, cartoony. Nipples, you know, biceps, triceps. You start to learn these things and you can draw them properly. And that is your preference. Exactly what Dom2D said. There are some things that you will just hate to study. The same with any subject. Now, if you're like me, very, very stubborn, you might kick them out, but eventually you'll come back to them. I was the same with color. I hated everything to do with color, and it got to a point where my coloring was so bad that I was like, I had to sit down one day and go, look, I'm gonna have to go through color theory until I understand it. I read a book called James Gurney's Color and Light. I read it once and I was like, this is a good book, but I don't understand what the is talking about. So what did I do? I read it again, and I read it again, you know, and I read it again. And I've read that book probably about 4 or 5 times. I watch tutorials to help that learning. And the most frustrating thing about online tutorials is that people are wrong. So when you're learning something, you're going to get misinformation. You're going to get people who don't know what they're talking about, and they're going to put you down this rabbit hole of wrong information. And you're going to have to learn and look at proper sources from professional artists who have written actual books, not just people who are pretending online. And that's annoying. You're going to have to figure out and weed it out, what's right and what's wrong. But eventually you'll figure it out. You'll figure out how it actually works, and you'll find learning resources which work better for you than something else. Someone might go, oh my God, check out Loomis's figure drawing. For example, I checked out Loomis's figure drawing. I didn't really like it. I thought I didn't really like that style. I really liked Hampton's figure drawing. I thought that was a little bit easier for me to understand and process. You'll find what works best for you, and it'll all be based on your likes. But the best thing that you can do as a beginner is just make something. Make anything, and make it consistently, and have fun with it. And the more you make, the better you go, and you'll find what you like, you'll find what you don't like, you'll grow your knowledge in one area, and you'll do that for your entire life, and then you'll die. Because art is forever. It's a lifelong thing. I honestly feel like age is a big factor for people with art. Any beginner will have a childlike aura of art level that can be bred insecurity. None of my friends know I draw. Yeah. Don't worry about what other people say, man. Fuck other people. Do what makes you... What's more sad about... Like, someone at work found my TikToks, right? And some of them are kind of cringy funny, but at first I was like, oh no, this is like cringy. But I was like, I like doing this. Why would I stop doing something because of what somebody else might think? You shouldn't do that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Because they're just going to be sitting and judging, and you're just going to enjoy it. You're just going to enjoy it. And no one was really mean, by the way. But You know, it's the conversations you have in your own head, right? And those are just conversations in your own head. And probably, honestly, if you do talk about it and you're passionate about something, people will just be like, oh, that's cool that you're passionate about something. And they might also reveal to you what they're passionate about, and they've never spoken about it. Maybe they like ballet, maybe they like dance. That's cool if you like that. You know? What's more sad is living your whole life not being yourself. You know, if you live your whole life not being yourself, and you try to please the crowds and you try to please everyone, if you're a people pleaser, you're just going to be unhappy, man. You're going to be unhappy. Find some art friends or a community like this where we can get together, we can share our artwork, we can help each other improve. I like that. And it's not about how good you are. It's not about if you're a pro. It's not about if you're... You know, it's not about if you're a pro or anything. It's just about, or if you've just started making art. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. We just like making things. That's what we're here for. Also, like, comment, subscribe. Motivational YouTube short. Yeah, of course. I'll put that together. No problem. But that's got to be it for today, folks. I'll be back. I'll be back next Monday on Twitch. We'll be back on Monday on Twitch, and hopefully I'll have finished that video and I can move on to doing more faceplant stuff. But thanks so much for watching, everybody. Thanks for sharing your work. Like I said, we're getting a lot of requests for work, for feedback, and I know we can't get through all of them, which is kind of annoying, but I also don't have a lot of time, and I don't really like... I always think like information should be free, which is why I do these Feedback Fridays, but I'm thinking about doing some one-to-one sessions. I've done it in the past, so if you're interested, we'll come up with a reasonable price for that kind of stuff. I'm so not business-minded. I'm so not business-minded at all. I'm just like, here's the information for free because it's going to help you. But maybe I'll put something like that together. If that's something you're interested in, have a think about it. Let me know. If not, I'm totally open to your feedback, anything like that. But yeah, I was hoping you'd get to mine. Probably not today, ProPixel. Well, definitely not today because we're ending now, but you get it. Bye, Ball. Thanks, Duke. Thanks, Evos. Appreciate you. Thanks, Majd. Everybody who's been hanging out today. KK hugs. I die for this one-to-one. You don't need to die. Get that bag. There we go. Thanks all. A lot of fun and information. Have a nice evening. You too, Majd. Just always check your references. Have a good night, everybody. Appreciate you. I'll catch you all next week. I can't pay for my country. It's okay. I will just take your firstborn child. Okay, next up. Thanks, folks. Goodbye. Salty Tune. Thank you. Tweak TV. Everybody, Juho. I appreciate you. Have a good one. Peace, folks. Catch you next week. Oh, I didn't hide. Goodbye. Goodbye, Gav. Goodbye, Pudnik. Goodbye, Eva's cat. Goodbye, Victoria. Already twice.